Welcome to the City Current Radio Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're honored to always bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference, powering the good. And so we're honored to kick it off with someone who's going to blow you away with all she is doing, a company that's making a huge investment in Memphis and doing amazing good, not just here in Memphis, but around the world. We have Andrea Karduss. She is the Clinical, Scientific, and Medical Affairs Specialist with Smith+Nephew. How are you doing, Andrea?
I'm very good. How about you, Jeremy?
Doing very well. So you all are charter partners with cityCURRENT. We get to host a virtual signature breakfast together, which is really exciting. But for starters, give a little bit, when people ask you about Smith+Nephew and the work that you do, give us a little bit of just your world with Smith+Nephew.
Within Smith+Nephew, I've had a very unique experience because I'm currently part of a rotational program. So I've been able to see different departments in the last 2 months and actually get work done for each of the departments and tie all of it together. So I think that's very valuable experience that not many companies might have, but I've definitely have seen the value through it with Smith+Nephew. I also have had the opportunities to be part of amazing organizations within the company. So in that way, I'm not only growing professionally in my current role, but I'm also developing myself in a personal way, as well with leadership skills. So I am currently part of Global SNP, which is Global Smith+Nephew Young Professionals. And what we do is we create a platform as PACE to connect all different local SNP chapters, Smith+Nephew Young Professional chapters, and connect them to collaborate, innovate, and just demonstrate how we can all work together around the world and combine ideas to definitely make a difference, not only within our company, but also within the communities that we are part of.
And when you talk about the Smith+Nephew Young Professionals, this was started in Memphis, and now it's something where you have chapters literally around the world. So it's got a very cool local storyline. But to your point, it's very powerful because it's led by young professionals. There's mentorship, there's opportunities for leadership, there's opportunities really to create relationships at all levels of the company. And it leads to growth, to development, to retention. There's a lot of really powerful effects. So dive in a little bit deeper on just some of those intangibles and the things that you get to be a part of and experience with SNP.
So with SNP, we have a broad range of opportunities. We have outreach opportunities, we have professional development, as well as social and networking. So with outreach, each of the different chapters on each of the locations of the world that we have, it definitely works with the community that surrounds the company. And it's very powerful because we're also giving back to the community that is giving to us in whatever the location it is. But for example, with professional development, it's awesome the things that we can do. We have mentoring programs, and not only the regular format in which the young professionals get mentorship from upper leaders, but we are currently implementing one that is called reverse mentoring. And in that one, it's awesome because we get the young professionals to talk to the upper leaders and actually mentor them through the eyes of the young professional. So we have innovative thinking, we have fresh ideas, and it's also about the technology that we can provide, as well as different resources and skills and ways of doing project management, product management. It's absolutely amazing, and we are launching it in August. So it's coming, and it's very powerful, not only for the upper leaders to get an innovative thinking from younger eyes perspective, but also for those young professionals to have a voice, to actually get confident and comfortable talking to upper leaders, and just showing them that their voice can be heard, and it's important within the company to drive cultural change.
Yeah, and I think it's a really cool opportunity with the reverse mentorship where, to your point, the young professionals get to really share their skill sets and the things they're passionate about and learn from each other. And it becomes a really cool opportunity for both kind of worlds to come together, learn from each other, grow, and to your point, innovate as well. What's something, when you look at overall, what's something that you've already gained from being a part of the Smith+Nephew Young Professionals?
I think visibility has been one of the biggest things. If I want to stick to my role, to my department, I might be able to grow and meet people very high up within the company that are currently within my department. However, through Global SNP and through SNP, I've been able to work with people all over the world. I've actually had talked to VPs in England. You know, it's things that you don't would have really gotten only from doing your daily job. So I think visibility is one of the biggest things. And if you want to grow in your career, you have to make those connections. And this platform is so powerful in that sense. I've gotten to have invitations from the almost the CEO, like the research and development president. You know, it has been launches with them, launches with really important people in the company, and they know I want to give to Smith+Nephew, so they know I'm there, and that visibility is just very powerful.
Yeah, and I think by them spending time with you, it shows you're valued. It shows that they value you. What does that mean for you in the way you view Smith+Nephew now? Because obviously, you know, when you feel valued, your trust and respect and your desire to go above and beyond the extra mile, I've got to believe those are things that you feel more empowered because you feel valued.
Yeah, it makes a difference. So sometimes you might not be as inspired to work or not have the, I don't know, the emotions that you might need. But when you have conversations with these upper leaders and you get exposed to these opportunities, it inspires me. It gives me like the motivation I need to continue. It just drives me forward, and it makes me work harder because I know I want to get whatever those upper leaders are. I want to be them in the future. So having that opportunity for young professionals to look at themselves as the future leaders, I think that's the most powerful thing I've gotten from this.
Talk about where you're from originally and where this comes in terms of your newfound love, not only for Smith+Nephew, but for being in Memphis.
So I'm originally from Venezuela, and it's a long story. So I was raised over there, and I came to the U.S. to go to college. I went to Massachusetts, to Worcester Polytechnic Institute, and it was quite a cultural change. It was very different, but I still had a lot of friends from Latin America. So that cultural change could be a little bit not that harsh, right? When I moved down to Memphis, it was completely different. The experience was completely different, and I moved down to work for Smith+Nephew. So at the beginning, I didn't know a single soul in Memphis. So it was an adventure. It was very scary at first, but having the support of the company and having this powerful organizations within the company that allow you to create a community that allow you to feel valuable, I think that totally made a difference. And I love my job. I love the company. I love the people that surround me. I love how I feel empowered by them. So I think that's very, very powerful within the Smith+Nephew community itself. From Memphis perspective, it was also amazing how people were so nice. The Southern hospitality was definitely a thing. And in that way, I could relate a little bit more as how we are in Latin America than with the North. So I think that was very cool. Everyone's so willing to help and open to whatever you might need, especially knowing that you're here by yourself.
Yeah, I was about to say, we love having you here. No question about it. And I think, though, that's something that every company really does need to understand is that we all play an important role in bringing new talent here, but also to creating the relationships that make you feel like this is home, that make you want to stay. And that's both within the community at large, but also within your community at work. And I think those are the things that when you start giving your employees a voice and helping them to feel valued and exposing them to all these new opportunities and ways that they can personally and professionally grow, that endears them to want to be more productive and, like you said, want to rise up through the ranks and become those leaders within the organization. And it leads to good things all the way around. So what would your encouragement be for other companies? I mean, after seeing this and the power of it, what it means to you personally, what would your encouragement be for other companies to take a first step and create these sort of opportunities within their own companies?
I would definitely say make sure that the people that are coming to Memphis for the first time, either if it's for the position or the job and the company, to feel at home. Provide them a guidance through the company. I personally had a mentor before moving here, just to get to know the company, get to know the community, get to know where were the best places to live. I think that's key point, because I knew I could talk to someone before getting here. So I think that's one of the biggest things. And the second is make sure they feel valuable, make sure that they have the opportunities not only to have a successful experience within their position, but within the company. Having these organizations that allow them to meet people, meet other people from their own age, that they could be friends outside of work. So I think that's one of the biggest things.
What would you want everyone to know, especially from your vantage point, about Smith+Nephew? What's something that you think most people probably have no idea about Smith+Nephew, but you think this is something that's either new and exciting for you, something a little different, kind of a cool trivia? I'll just throw it out randomly, but what's something that you think everyone should know about Smith+Nephew?
Wow, that's interesting. So I really love Smith+Nephew in many ways, but the one thing I would just say how amazingly people collaborate and work together to achieve a mission. And this mission might be either a product, or it might be even within Smith+Nephew Young Professionals chapters, how everyone works together to make sure that the ultimate event, the ultimate product is successful in the end. Like nothing matters as long as the end goal is achieved and that we all put a little effort to get there.
Talk about your approach, because I know you've done Toastmasters. You yourself are taking advantage, like you said, of every opportunity to grow, to expand your own horizons. What would your encouragement be for other young professionals who do want to grow and are looking for opportunities either to create on their own or within their company, but who do want to personally develop and professionally develop? What would your encouragement be for them to do things like the Toastmasters and the things that you're doing?
I would say first, learn how to do or have time management. Time management is key for this type of opportunities, especially because you want to keep doing an amazing job on your daily role and your actual job, but you also want to have opportunities to network, get experience, and just get resources that you can then apply within your role. So time management is one of the biggest things. The second is I joined Toastmasters to enhance presentation skills. Presentation skills are key in whatever role you're doing. Even if you're a software engineer in which you don't interact with a lot of people, you'll eventually will have to present even to your manager. So presentation skills are key. Toastmasters, we have in Memphis chapters, and I believe a lot of companies do have Toastmasters within their organization. So that's one of the biggest things, and I'm very, very grateful for having them within Smith+Nephew. And the third one would be network. Just find a way of creating network, even if it's through a young professionals organization or through Society of Women Engineers or any organization that you have within the company, or if you don't have it, just create it in which people could connect, could develop and get experience from the outreach perspective, from the social perspective, as well as from the professional development point of view.
Speak from your vantage point. I'm thinking for women engineers and especially for young girls who are looking at this as a career opportunity. You're a part of Society of Women Engineers. Share from that vantage point of being a role model for young girls who look at you and say, I want to go down the path that she's going, especially as a woman in engineering and in manufacturing.
So the Society of Women Engineers is an organization that has been key to my development. Being an engineer within an industry where most of the people that are part of the community are men, I think it's very powerful to see how you can have role models above you. So I have my personal role models within the world, but as well within Smith+Nephew, that I actually seek to get mentorship from them to see how I can achieve and how to get where they are today. So I think if you do wanna get to a career which is more focused on STEM and men are driving the industry, just connect and network with those women that can help you grow. If you listen, you'll grow old. So that's one of the things that we have in Venezuela, and I actually really follow it. So just trying to see and talk to as many women that could be role models for you, I think that's really really important, because they will help you get where you want to go, and we're together in this, so we better listen to ourselves, listen to others, and just go from there.
Awesome. Absolutely love it. Talk about website. Where can people go to learn more about Smith and Nephew and just be in the loop in general with Smith and Nephew and all the good that the company does?
So we have the main webpage, smithandnephew.com, and within that webpage you can see the different things that we have, as well as LinkedIn. In LinkedIn, we are always posting new things. I'm actually doing a video for Global Snip to be posted on LinkedIn. So I think LinkedIn is the one that is currently refreshing, and every week we have news out there. So I would definitely encourage to go through LinkedIn.
Well, Andrea, thank you for all you do. Thank you for coming on the show. Greatly appreciate it.
Of course, yeah, very happy to be here. Thank you for the invitation.